What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to always win on a fade route, okay? So we're going to be talking about three different situations. We're going to be talking about how to win a fade against press, how to win a fade against off man, and then how to win a goal line fade, okay? So these three videos, these three clips we're going to look at are really going to help you out, really give you some value, so I hope they do. And now, first things first, fellas, also, we got a 50% off sale today going on my website. Improve your route running in 10 days. Our route running training program is 50% off today only. So check out that very first link in the description, you guys. 50% off. Link in the description. Specific schedule and drills and just the technical aspects to be a better route runner in 10 days only. Hope we get you guys on that soon. Let's get started with this video. So the first route we're going to be looking at is Antonio Brown working this split release against press coverage, beating this guy over the top, then making this catch, right? So now the easy answer to say is that, oh, he's just faster than this guy. You got to understand that everybody at this level is going to be fast. Everybody at this level runs probably a 4.5 and below, especially if you're playing a DB or a receiver. So there's a difference. You know what I mean? Than just being able to run by a guy. Like Tyreek Hill is a different breed, right? That guy can run past anybody, right? But again, that technical aspect, having this technique off this split release right here leads you to be able to use that speed. You got to be able to have technique. You can't just run by this guy. That will not fly at this level of football, and that will not fly for guys who are making that jump to the next level, whether it's from youth to high school, maybe from youth to high school if you're just a better athlete than everybody, but that high school to college jump, that's always the big one that they talk about, right? And that's what I assume everybody's trying to do is get to that next level. You're not just going to be able to run by guys. You got to have technical aspects that will get you by it. So especially on a fade, we can't just rely on my speed. We got to rely on my technique. So he decides to go with this split release. So what is a split release? It's exactly how it sounds. You're just bringing your back foot up even with your front foot, and you're kind of giving like a little hesitation hop to it, okay? So that's what a split release is. And you see how he's really stepping wide, but he's coming to balance. So this is a great release to use, especially against a DB who's maybe going to be physical, maybe going to shoot hands like in this situation right here, right? Where it's pressed up. Doesn't even have like a yard to give. He's right up in his face in man coverage because that split will freeze him, right? We want to freeze him. He could push either way when he comes to balance like this. He could drive off of this leg and go inside. He could drive off of this leg and go outside, right? Either way, he's got balance at the break or at the top of the release, so he could go whichever way he wants to go. So it's all about coming to balance right here. But also because when you come to balance, if he shoots a hand and he tries to get inside your frame, you're not going to get knocked off of that route. You're not going to get forced into the sideline. So come to balance on this split. Now, for the fade portion, when you guys burst up vertical into a route, especially against press coverage, let's not be looking back for the ball right away. Let's keep my head down. Let's not look back for that ball until I have some separation. Let's not look back for it until I'm open. Now, again, I get it if you're a lower level of football and maybe you don't have the best quarterback and he underthrows the ball a lot. You know, I understand that. I get that. And maybe the DB is just straight up faster than you, so you maybe got to expect that back shoulder. Maybe you're a bigger guy. I get that. There's situations like that. But if you're pretty even matched up, dude, man coverage like this, you have good chemistry with your quarterback, you know he's going to put it out there, and this is what they'll teach you in college. You want to keep your head down and continue to drive. Don't look until you're open, right? So you see Antonio Brown doesn't start looking back for this ball. I know the clip's a little bit lower. He doesn't start looking back for this ball until right here when he's got this guy about by a step or two, because this, from a quarterback perspective, from a guy like me who played quarterback, right? I know right here he's open. He's got him by a step. I could throw him open. I'm going to go put it to a spot so he could just focus on being full speed and running to it. So when you guys are running that fade, don't start looking back for the ball too early. Don't start peeking back, because when you peek back, look what happens to your chest. It automatically raises up. And this DB, especially if you dog him off the line and you beat him off the line bad, he's got his head down. He's, oh shit, I don't want to get beat over the top. And he's going full speed. So you got to continue to widen that gap, get him by a couple steps before you look back for that ball, right? Obviously, there's chemistry involved. Obviously, working this over and over again with your quarterback puts you in that kind of right spot to know when, okay, he's probably going to be getting this ball up right now. I got to get open by here. But you want to make sure you keep that head down until you get him by about a step, 2 or 3, okay? So now, when you guys want to finish on a fade route, especially when this guy's back on your inside hip, you want to be late with your hands. That's what a lot of receivers don't get. A lot of receivers don't understand that concept. That ball will be coming, and they'll show their hands super early. As a DB, what you're coached to do is just play through the hands. You're calling, you see his hands go up? I'm going to put my hands right in the middle of that because I'm going to try to knock the ball out and get a PBU. So it's really important as a receiver right here, we're patient, right? We're patient and we let this thing drop right into the bucket and be late, because you see, we've already secured this catch, and that's when that DB's throwing those hands up to react. But imagine if that ball is coming and I start showing my hands and I start putting them up here and trying to get this thing up. Now, catching the ball at a high point when it's underthrown, that's a different story, obviously. But when it's over the shoulder like this, you want to be very late with your hands so you could just bam, just right in the bucket. DB has no time to react. This is a textbook fade route from Antonio Brown. You see how he's able to make that play. Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. So coming off here, split, push up vertical, keep that head down. Don't look until we got him by a step or two. Then make sure that I'm late with my hands so the DB doesn't have time to react. Okay, so now we're going to be taking a look, same kind of clip, Antonio Brown practice film. Now it's off man inside shade. So this is, I talked about this yesterday a little bit, and it's like there's a lot of people are saying that this is how every single high school team plays, right? They never get any press coverage. This is how they get it. And this is a great way for you guys to get some separation, right? So now, like if you're downfield and you got this kind of look, what do you think you want to do? You want to make it look the same, right? You want to make it look like all the other routes that you would work when you face this kind of look. So what does that mean? You want to attack his leverage and you want to square this guy up, right? So what I mean by squaring him up, I mean stemming to the inside and then pushing vertical to either move him inside or get him to move back, or maybe hell, even sometimes he might move outside, right? But I doubt that. That's probably not going to happen. So let's watch the thing full speed. So he comes off inside shade, pushes vertical, and then look at all the space he created for himself to be able to just go back over the top, right? So now let's talk about this. So when we come off here, and we square this dude up, it's very important that we're fast, right? We don't want to slow. We don't want to give away. But now, why would we even want to attack this guy in the first place? Because look to the left and see how much green space there is. Now, some of you might think like, oh, well, why wouldn't I just run there? Why wouldn't I just take off to the outside? He's inside leverage. How's he going to be able to make a play? Well, the thing is with that is that you just take off. He's going to run right into you, get into your hip, and force you to that sideline because the sideline is his help. I don't care how fast you are. That's what he's going to do because that's why he's inside shade in the first place. He doesn't want anything to cross his face. He doesn't want to get beat over the middle. That's why he's inside shade and man coverage. That's why you see a lot of press coverage inside shade because they're trying to force you to the outside, use the sideline as their help, right? So we got to threaten him to the inside. So that's why I want to angle my stem to the inside and attack him, right? You see how we come here? We take this like vertical step, right? We get him squared up. He stays inside leverage. He stays to the inside. Like a lot of people ask me, well, what if he weaves? What if he weaves to the inside when I attack his leverage? That's perfect. We just set up all this space for myself right here for the quarterback to put some air on it for me to win that race to the ball. And again, we square him up. We make that move, and you see how AB's constantly fighting those hands, keeping those head down and keeping that head down until he gets to a certain spot. Then again, late hands over the top as you're being grabbed. A one-handed catch, right? A lot of people ask me, like, what can I do to work on that? Obviously, a lot of people say, like, oh, you should get two hands down first, right? But there are times where this guy might be grabbing onto you, right? And you got to throw one hand up. So it's not bad to practice that situation every once in a while to work on that one-handed catch. Great job, Antonio Brown, running this streak or this fade or go route against off-man inside shades. Watch it again full speed. So coming off here, attack his leverage, fade back out to the outside, fight those hands, and then catch that ball over the top. All right, guys, now we're going to be talking about Rondale Moore running this goal line fade, right? So we're on like the 2-3 yard line, right? Or maybe like 3 or the 4 yard line, and we got to win this race to the back corner. So again, here we go. Inside shade. Now, this is more of like a catch technique, right? But it's on the goal line. So we know what about a DB on the goal line when he's inside shade or when he's off. He's not going to backpedal, okay? So let's watch this thing full speed. So Moore comes, attacks his leverage, gives him that move. Then it's just a race to the back corner. That's easy money for us, right? So now let's talk about this. So inside shade DB like we have. What did we want to talk about? What were we just talking about with Antonio Brown? Now, the only thing that changes is that the field's closer together and that he's not going to backpedal, right? Because that's what DBs are not taught to do. Because if they backpedal, you can just hook up right here, bam, ball. Easy money on the goal line for an offense, so they're not going to back up. So we got to understand that as a receiver and not run into him. We got to understand range and work in that range to where if he's going to get hands, he's got to address us, right? So now, we want to attack his leverage. Why was he inside shade? Because he doesn't want to let anything cross his face. He wants to use the sideline to his help. He hopes that we just take off and race to the back corner so he can get on my hip, force me to the outside, and then I'm done, right? So we want to square him up. I give this little like kind of squirt release here. They call this a squirt release where you just come out and you just pretty much just square him up right away. You squirt to the inside, you're here, and then you keep that range with him. You don't want to get too close to where he could get hands. You keep that range because you know he's not going to backpedal. He's going to sit right there. So I give him that move, sell with my upper half to the inside, selling like I'm trying to cross his face, like maybe I attack his leverage, give him a move and run a slant, run an in route, whatever it is I'm trying to sell that I'm trying to cross his face to get him to stop those feet, get him to lean to the inside. And now look at all the space I just created for myself, right? It's very hard to win a race from back here when this DB's got like a 3-yard head start and you just go straight there and he could take that angle. But when you square him up, it's a lot easier to win a race to this back corner, and that's exactly what we do. Quarterback gets it out early, and again, late hands over the top. Don't show those hands early. Great job by Moore working this squirt release. Watch it again full speed. So comes at him, gives that little hop, gives a move to the inside, then it's a race to that back corner. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave those in the comments below. I'd really appreciate that. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And again, 50% off our How to Improve Your Route Running in 10 Days training program. If you guys want to improve your route running, you need to get better. You want the specific drills and a specific plan, right? It's not just about doing the drills, it's about having a plan strategically set up to improve your route running in 10 days. Check out that very first link in the description. Hope we can get you guys on that soon. I'll see you guys next time.